Yeah, just try once. Just unmute.
Hello, hello, hello.
You're live. You're live. It's not even.
Yeah, it's not working.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the CENTA International TPO webinar series, Decoding School Leader MCQ. We'll be starting shortly. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Very warm welcome to all those of you who have joined us for the last and final session of the CENTA International TPO webinar series, brought to you in association with our partners Education World, University of California, Santa Cruz, Oxford University Press, and the University of Buckingham. Today, we will be looking at the much awaited school leadership track. My name is Syed Ziaur Rahim, and joining me as a co-host for this session, we have Shiksha Rawal. Allow us to quickly introduce ourselves. So I was quite lucky in life to have had an amazing, time during my education. I had some amazing teachers, to thank. And they were not only great subject teachers, they were also great role models. Like I remembered wanting to be like my teachers when I grew up. I still remember their faces like I just saw them yesterday. So PG George ma'am, Patil sir, Roy sir, and so deep down inside of me, I wanted to become a teacher. So although I graduated in my studies in mechanical engineering, I decided to become a teacher, and I did so by joining the Teach for India Fellowship. So I taught second and third grade Munchkin's English, Math and Science. In my teaching career, I also taught 8th and 9th grade Math and Science, and worked in education organizations like Bridge International Academies, Lido Learning, and LEAD in different capacities. And I currently work as a STEM lead at CENTA. Aside from that, I'm also really passionate about this sport called snooker. So I'm officially India's fourth snooker coach to be accredited by the World Professional Snooker Governing Body, and I've worked with around 50 students in and around Nagpur and Bangalore. This is one of my fondest memories, working with Shivam, where he went on to, in a tournament, beat quite a few adults on his way to achieving this magnificent trophy. And working with young students like Shivam, it really makes my day, and it's a privilege, to get to be in that space. So that's a little bit about me. Over to you, Shiksha.
Thanks, Zia. I would like to just say hello and welcome to everybody. And we've been reading where you're from. Good evening, good morning to everybody wherever you're joining us from. I'm Shiksha. I lead the school leadership program here at CENTA. My passion for education began very early on, probably when I was back in school, looking at my teachers, getting inspired from what they did every day, looking at my own family, which is full of teachers. I got inspired to get into education and to affect real change. That's how I made my way into the Tata Institute of Social Sciences, studied quite a rigorous MA in education, and then joined CENTA post that. And this is, since Zia was also sharing a fond memory, this is also a fond memory of me talking to a few university folks about what they can do in education, what careers in education look like, etc. So great to be joining all of you here, and over to you, Zia, to take the session forward from here.
Thanks, Shiksha. So this is the 9th edition of the CENTA International Teaching Professionals Olympiad, the first of its kind global competition for teachers. So the CENTA's flagship initiative, the CENTA International Teaching Professionals Olympiad, began in 2015 with 7 cities. And in a short span of time, we grew tenfold to cover 2 countries and 75 cities in the year 2019. And very proud to share that in the year 2024, not only is CENTA International TPO fully online and international, we are covering a massive 5,000 plus regions spanning 70 plus countries in 2024. In today's webinar, we will cover an overview of the CENTA International TPO. We will be sharing the details of the prelims, what the format looks like, what the mark scheme looks like, what are the different competencies that are covered, etc. We will be unpacking the CENTA TPO school leadership track using various sample questions. We will also be sharing some salient features about the school leadership program, and we will also share some pointers on how you can prepare for the CENTA International TPO 2024. Quite a few resources coming your way towards the end of the session, so stay tuned. From 2015 to 2019, the CENTA International TPO used to be a single stage competition with only the finals of the event taking place. From 2020 to 2022, we changed the format to a 2-stage competition with the prelims as well as the finals. And we will be retaining this format for the year 2024. The prelims will comprise only of multiple choice questions, and the finals will also have a subjective component to it. As I've shared earlier, the competition will be fully online, so you can join either using a laptop, a desktop, or even a smartphone, as long as it has a front-facing camera and a microphone. We would highly recommend that you have a very strong and stable internet connection in order to be able to smoothly take the competition. It will be conducted in 2 stages, with the prelims being conducted up until 29th March 2024, and the finals will happen in April 2024. Right? We're expecting a participation from over 70 countries and a whole host of awards coming in from global organizations for the exceptional performers in this competition. This will be a 60-minute long test for the prelims, which will comprise of 30 multiple choice questions. Let me quickly reiterate that. For all the different subject tracks that we have, the test is for 1.5 hours duration. It's the school leadership track, which is comprising of 60 minutes and 30 multiple choice questions. So aside from the school leadership track, we also have a whole host of other prelim subject tracks. As you can see, we have, for the primary, we have the English, Math and EVS combined track. We also have the separate English, Math and EVS tracks. For middle school, we have English, Math, Science and Social Studies. For the secondary and senior secondary tracks, we have English, Math, Biology, Chemistry, and Physics, as well as various miscellaneous tracks like General Pedagogy, Early Childhood Education, Computer Science, as well as Hindi and Tamil across grades 1 to 8. Since its inception, CENTA Standards have been used to gauge effectiveness of teaching practices and skill sets that help foster a culture of continuous improvement for educators. Right? This is the most comprehensive framework for evaluating different teacher competencies that I have come across in my professional career so far. It's broadly broken down into 4 different buckets. The first one being the technical competencies, which comprise of areas like subject expertise, content development and planning, student assessment and remediation, technology in education, etc. There's professional competencies that are tested across areas like teamwork and leadership, involvement of parents and community, problem solving ability, work planning and time management, etc. We have essential core competencies like logical ability, communication, and technological awareness. And we also have the mindset competencies, the really crucial mindsets for teachers, school leaders, and educators, like having a growth mindset, having that strong belief that all students can achieve, placing importance on parent and community, having that initiative and drive, and also having that appetite for the continuous learning and development. All of these competencies are tested across broadly 3 distinct buckets, right? As I've shared earlier, the school leadership prelims will comprise of 30 multiple choice questions for a total of 50 marks. The duration of this test will be 1 hour. So for all the other subject tracks, the duration is 1.5 hours and 50 multiple choice questions. For the school leadership track, we have 50 marks, 30 multiple choice questions, and a duration of 1 hour. The 3 different buckets are focus on school, which will comprise of 8 questions and a total of 14 marks. There's focus on stakeholders, which will comprise of 10 questions and 17 marks. And then we have leadership, which will comprise of 12 questions, totaling 19 marks, to give the sum total of 50 marks. In the focus on school bucket, we will broadly be covering whatever happens inside of the classroom, like content, assessment, instructional strategies, all the different pedagogical practices that happen inside of the classroom. This will comprise of 14 marks, 8 questions. We have focus on all the important stakeholders like teachers, parents, and students, 17 marks and 10 questions. And we have the final bucket, which is leadership, which will comprise of leadership, communication, administration, problem solving, and work planning. This will have a total of 12 questions comprising 19 marks to give you a sum total of 50 marks. Here is an overview of what the test taking platform looks like. Now, this is again just a sample. As you can see here, it says 50 questions and 1.5 hours. This is just a sample of the subject track, right? So you will see the different subject areas on your paper. On the bottom left-hand side, you can also see what the platform looks like. So you can see the question stem, which says Mridula uses a compass while cycling. She travels 6 kilometers to the east, and looks like a physics question, right? And we can see here that there are 4 options, A, B, C, D. All of these multiple choice questions will have only one correct response. So you can click the correct response before moving on to the next question. When you've finished all the different subjects, areas of the test, you can then click on submit to submit your test, right? You will also have a timer, as you can see on the middle left-hand side of the screen, to show you the total duration passed and how much duration is left in the test. On the right-hand side, you can also see a sample scorecard, right? So all of the different areas, section areas of the test, you will be getting the individual scores for that. This score will be valid for 1 year from the date of issue. Another big benefit of this test is that you will get a detailed, individualized report based on your overall performance, which will not only comprise of individual insights such as your strengths and areas of improvement basis your performance, how you fare as compared to the global benchmark, and also certain other insights that we've been able to draw from your individual assessment results. And in a nutshell, that is what the CENTA International Teaching Professionals Olympiad is all about. It's about rewarding, recognizing, and celebrating the teaching professions. It fills me with great pride and all the energy that I'm able to bring into my role. I'm able to do so because I know that I'm working towards making teaching aspirational. And we are deeply grateful to all the teachers, educators, and school leaders, such as yourself, who year on year have been participating and helping us make the CENTA International TPO a grand success. So, thank you. Now, let's move on and look at some of the CENTA International TPO sample questions. Our first bucket focus on school, which has a weightage of 8 questions and 14 marks. The first question that we are looking at is from the topic content development and planning. A new language teacher has joined your school. While observing her classes, you find that she brings in texts or novels at different reading levels, gets support for some students from their peers, and designs a variety of assessment tasks based on the readiness level of the students. What is she doing? She seems to be doing quite a few things. Choose the closest answer. The options are A, being partial or biased towards a few students. Option B, using multiple intelligences as an instructional strategy in her classroom. Option C, differentiating instruction based on student needs. And option D, build a strong relationship with and among her students. Do take some time and read through the question, think through what you think is the right answer. And if you're confident about your answer, please do drop a comment in the chat with the correct answer. Okay, we have our first response. Eric says C. Okay, we have a few more of you saying C. Madhuri says D. Okay, a few others also saying option C. Okay, quite a few of you seem to be going with option C. I just quickly read the question once again. A new language teacher has joined your school. While observing her classes, you find that she brings in texts or novels at different reading levels, gets support for some students from their peers, and designs a variety of assessment tasks based on the readiness level of the students. What is she doing? Choose the closest answer. So there might be a few things which you feel are partially true. We want you to choose the closest answer. Quite a few of you are responding with option C. A is being partial or biased towards a few students. B is using multiple intelligences as an instructional strategy in her classroom. C is differentiating instruction based on student needs. And D is building a strong relationship with and among her students. If you've marked option B, which I don't think any of you have, you would have been incorrect. Multiple intelligences does include adapting classroom instruction to suit the different learning styles of students like visual, auditory, verbal, etc. But that is not what is happening here. If you've marked option A, that is incorrect. The texts that the teacher brings in are very much in accordance with the reading levels of the different students in the classroom. So I do not see any kind of partiality or bias coming in here. Option D is also incorrect. There are multiple ways of building strong relationship. This isn't one of them. So congratulations to all those of you who have marked option C. This is indeed the correct answer. What the teacher is doing is differentiating instruction based on student needs. Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is on the topic pedagogical methods and tools. What is the purpose of the scaffolding instructional strategy? Is it option A, to bridge the gap between a student's current abilities and the desired learning outcomes? Is it B, to assist students who face difficulties in understanding the concepts presented in the lectures? Is it C, to foster interest in learning academic subjects such as science, maths, languages, and arts? Or is it D, to provide guidance and support for particular concepts in the near term? Take some time and think through this. And once you're confident, I would like for you to drop a comment in the chat. Okay, I see a few A's, a few C's, a few B's as well. Okay, seems like a tricky one. Take some more time, think through this. I'll repeat the question once again. What is the purpose of the scaffolding instructional strategy? Is it A, to bridge the gap between a student's current abilities and the desired learning outcomes that we wish to achieve? Is it B, to assist students who face difficulties in understanding the concepts presented in the lectures? Is it C, to foster interest in learning academic subjects such as science, maths, languages, and arts? Or is it D, to provide guidance and support for particular concepts in the near term? Please drop your comments in the chat. Okay, I still see quite a few mixed bag of responses. Let's have a quick look. If you have marked option B, this is unfortunately incorrect, right? It should be tailored to students with diverse learning needs. If you marked option A, you are indeed correct. Scaffolding is a long-term flexible strategy that can be adapted to students across grades, subjects, and ages to help them become independent learners in the long run. So this is very much a long-term strategy to adopt in the classroom. If you have marked option D, this is incorrect, right? It can be adapted across grades, ages, and subjects to make them independent learners in the future. Option C is incorrect as well. This is a useful technique for problem solving, critical thinking, and socio-emotional development. Okay, so with that, we move on to the next bucket, which is focus on all the important stakeholders. With a weightage of 17 marks, this will comprise of 10 questions. Let's have a look at one of the sample questions. From the topic, involvement with teachers. What is the most effective way for a school leader to gain insight into teaching and learning? Is it A, provide feedback forms for students to give inputs on their learning experiences? Is it B, regularly review assessments and progress reports to identify areas where students may be struggling? Is it C, have informal one-on-one conversations with students and teachers to gain these insights? Or is it option D, regularly conducting classroom visits to observe the students and teachers? Okay, I see a few of you marking C. I see a couple of D's as well. Okay, I see a couple of B's as well. This also seems to be a bit of a mixed bag. Allow me to quickly repeat the question once again. What is the most effective way for a school leader to gain insight into teaching and learning? So among these options, you might see a few effective strategies. Which of these is the most effective way for a school leader to gain insight into teaching and learning? Is it A, provide feedback forms for students to give inputs on their learning experiences? Is it B, regularly review assessments and progress reports to identify areas where students may be struggling? Is it C, have informal one-on-one conversations with students and teachers to gain insights? Or is it D, regularly conducting classroom visits to observe the students and teachers? If you have marked option A, this is incorrect, although I did not see anyone marking option A, at least in the comments. Option B is incorrect as well. Option D is the correct answer in this case. This strategy is highly effective for gaining direct insight into teaching and learning. Immediate feedback can also be provided to the teachers. This also allows school leaders to be updated on the new teaching methodologies and curriculum changes, enabling them to make decisions about school policies and improvements. Right? So the most effective way for a school teacher to gain these insights into teaching and learning is being in the classroom and doing the classroom observation. Option C is a close to correct one, but overall, as I've shared, there's only one correct response for what is the most effective way for a school leader to gain insights into teaching and learning. It is via conducting classroom visits and classroom observations, seeing the teachers and the students live in the classroom. Let's move on to our next question, which is on the topic of involvement with parents. A new teacher has joined your school and asks for your advice on how best to initiate an engagement with the parents. Which of the following would be the most suitable advice that you could give to the teacher? Is it A, you should interact with parents at the start of the term? That way, you can get the relationship off to a semi-informal but strong start since you don't have any specific agenda. Is it B, your first interaction with a parent must be positive? So you should wait for a child to do something good in school and then make a phone call to the parents praising the child. Is it option C, the parents of your class are already quite engaged? You can directly interact with them at the quarterly parent-teachers meeting. Or is it option D? You can start by collecting data on the occupations of different parents, their education levels, etc., and then plan activities in the school that suit each parent. As we've seen earlier, these are not very straightforward. So do think through this before responding in the comments. I see a few of you marking option D, option B. I also see a few of you marking option A. I'll quickly repeat the question. A new teacher has joined your school and asks for your advice on how best to initiate an engagement with the parents. Which of the following would be the most suitable advice that you could give to the teacher? Is it A, you should interact with parents at the start of the term? That way you can get the relationship off to a semi-informal but strong start since you don't have any specific agenda. Is it B, your first interaction with a parent must be positive? So you should wait for a child to do something good in school and only then make a phone call to the parents praising the child. Is it C, the parents of your class are already quite engaged? You can directly interact with them at the quarterly parent-teacher meeting. Or is it D, you can start by collecting data on the occupations of different parents, their education levels, etc., and then plan activities in the school that suit each parent. Okay, the tides have shifted. I see quite a few of you marking option A. Let's have a look. Yes, you are indeed correct. If you marked option A, this is in fact the correct answer. Option B isn't the most correct answer since waiting for a child to do something good or positive is not likely to be the most effective approach, right? You might have to wait for a certain period of time before you're able to interact with the parents of certain children, right? Furthermore, a telephone call could be considered impersonal for a first interaction, right? Option D might seem plausible, which is why we saw a few of you marking that in your comments, but this is incorrect since it is unlikely to be something that can be efficiently and practically be executed, right? So although a really good idea, it is always very, very useful for you to know what are the different occupations of your children's parents, what are the different education levels. It's always good to have that background information, and that will add a lot of context when you are having those important conversations with them. However, planning activities in the school to suit each parent is not a very, very practical approach to this, right? Which is why option A is correct. Option C is incorrect as well, as it does not help the new teacher get to know her students' parents better. So, although the engagement with the previous teacher might have already been good, it's important for the new teacher to be able to build that rapport and build those relationships with her children's parents. Okay. Now, before we move on to the next bucket, I would like to invite back Shiksha, who will speak with us about the school leadership program. Over to you, Shiksha.
Thanks, Zia, for uh, and giving me a chance to speak about the school leadership program. So as we said in the beginning, we are going to also talk about the live trainings that CENTA does in for teachers who have 5 years of experience or more and are looking to transition to a school leadership role. So this is a program that we run for them. And I would just like to take a moment to take you all through the program and what we do in the program. We begin with a very rigorous professional development for school leaders, begins with a lot of self-reflection. So whether you are currently a teacher or a new school leader or have been in the leadership position for a while now, you would want to say reflect on your strengths, your areas of development, etc. And that is what we begin the program with. We build our vision towards what is the kind of leadership that we want to do, what is the kind of school that we want to build, and that's what we do in the first module. And having set that as a very strong foundation, we then dive into the different competencies that we will develop, that school leaders need to develop in order to function efficiently and effectively. And like Zia said, there are three buckets of the TQ. There are also three buckets of competencies that we cover throughout the program. First is the instructional leadership, which has a lot to do with the in the school or in the classroom kind of aspects of being a school leader, which involves classroom observation, understanding the teacher's work, and uh, understanding the students, their difficulties, etc. And the competencies that you require as a school leader to manage and ensure that within classroom activities are going well. Those are the competencies we cover in the instructional leadership bucket. The second bucket is the interpersonal leadership. Now, as a school leader, you do not work in a silo, whereas you work with a lot of different stakeholders and teams, and therefore you need to have really great interpersonal skills. And that's what we do in the second module, which also has relations with the TQ second part of working with teachers and parents. So that's what we do in the interpersonal leadership module. The third module covers the bucket of the administrative leadership competency. Here's where we learn how to manage our own time better, how to do work planning, how to plan your projects in the school, how to budget, what are the laws and policies that you should be aware of as a school leader. So that's what we do in the third bucket of competencies. Now, all of these competencies are something that also get tested in the TQ, and therefore this program not only prepares you to be an excellent school leader, it also prepares you well to take up the TQ if you are planning to. And lastly, the program is built on the premise that every school leader wants to bring some or the other kind of transformation in school, and that transformation needs structures and processes. And therefore we talk about how to go about managing change, how to bring innovation in the school, and how to sustain that innovation in school. So that's what we do in the school leadership program. Now, how we do it is through different channels of learning. One is that we have signed up expert faculties from India and from international countries and from other countries, from exceptional universities, who will be teaching you all of the basics and fundamentals that you need to know to become a great school leader. And these are live online sessions that are tailored to the batch's needs. The second thing that we do is that, since most people who take up the course are looking for some kind of growth or transition in their career, we set them up for one-on-one mentoring sessions with career growth coaches who would help you in that journey. Now we also know that as school leaders, a lot of the things that you learn in theory are contextual, and therefore this program is built with a highly practical approach, where you are supposed to take up the theory that you have learned in the sessions in your own school, in your own context, and implement that and bring the learnings back to the classroom. Lastly, having done all of that, CENTA also provides you career growth support for the next academic session, which is the academic session of 2025. We are very happy to say that we currently have a school leadership program batch ongoing, and the next batch will also start soon. So if you would like to know more about the program and register for our upcoming program, please visit the CENTA website or the CENTA app, and you will get to know a lot more about the program. And you can write to us if you would like to register for the upcoming batch of the school leadership program. Over to you, Zia, to take them through to the next bucket of questions.
Thank you so much, Shiksha, for taking us through the salient features of the school leadership program. Moving on to the last bucket, which is leadership, which carries a total weightage of 19 marks and comprises of a total of 12 questions. Let's have a look at a sample question. This is from the topic Leadership in Administration. Anil, a young and enthusiastic history teacher, has recently joined the school. A few senior officials are scheduled to visit the school in 3 weeks of time. He offers to create a presentation explaining the school's unique initiatives to the senior officials. This is despite the fact that he has not made such high-stakes presentations before in his life. As the school leader, which of the following would be the best approach in this situation? Is it A, let Anil know that as a newcomer in the school, he may not be able to present at high-stakes meeting? Is it B, give him a detailed presentation slide by slide and ask him to execute the presentation on the day of the visit? Is it C, discuss and agree on an outline for the presentation and then check in with him on progress regularly? Or is it D, considering the enthusiastic nature of the teacher, the school leader should encourage his proactiveness and allow him to completely own and present at this meeting? Do take some time and think through what could be the correct response in this case, the best approach for you to take as a school leader in this scenario. Okay, I see a few of you have marked option D. Quite a few of you are also marking option C. Okay, I hardly see any A's and B's, so seems like a close competition between option C and option D. I'll just quickly repeat the question once again. Anil, a young and enthusiastic history teacher, has recently joined the school. A few senior officials are scheduled to visit the school in 3 weeks of time. Now, Anil offers to create a presentation explaining the school's unique initiatives to the senior officials. This is despite the fact that he has not made such high-stakes presentations before. As the school leader, which of the following would be the best approach in this situation? Is it option A, let Anil know that as a newcomer in the school, he may not be able to present at a high stakes meeting? Is it option B, give him a detailed presentation, slide by slide, and ask him to execute the presentation on the day of the visit? Is it option C, discuss and agree on an outline for the presentation and then check in with him on his progress regularly? Or is it option D, considering the enthusiastic nature of the teacher, the school leader should encourage his proactiveness and allow him to completely own and present at the meeting? Okay, I see quite a few of you marking option C here. One or two Ds as well. If you've marked option A, which I'm guessing you haven't, it would have been incorrect, since this would be a public expression of a lack of confidence in Anil, right? Which can be demotivating to him. He's coming in as a very young, enthusiastic teacher wanting to take this initiative, and it can be a bit demotivating for you to let him know that you don't consider him to be prepared for taking this initiative on. Option B, again, I don't see any of you having marked that. This is again incorrect, since it is very much like spoon feeding, right? And fails to leverage the enthusiasm that Anil is bringing in. Option D in this case is incorrect as well. Reason being that in the question you can observe, Anil has not done any high stakes presentations before. Right, and that is very, very crucial. We have senior officials coming in 3 weeks' time. He has not done any high stakes presentations before. Enthusiastic as he might be, this is really, really high stakes, which is why there should be some support coming in from your end, which is what makes option C, in fact, more correct, right? You should discuss and agree on an outline for the presentation. You let him take that initiative, but also keep checking in with him, keep checking on his progress, see how he's doing, maybe do a couple of dry runs before you actually allow him to present in front of the senior officials. And that would be the best approach that you can take as a school leader in this scenario. Moving on to the next question, which is on the topic of administration. While delegation of responsibilities is a vital approach for school leaders to efficiently manage a school, which of the following tasks should not be delegated due to their critical nature? I repeat once again, which of these tasks should not be delegated due to their critical nature? Is it A, conducting professional development workshops for teachers to align with the school goals? Is it B, developing a long-term strategic plan for the school? Is it C, managing student transportation and logistics? Or is it option D, communication with parents and community to build positive relationships? Do take some time and think through it. Which of these should not be delegated due to the critical nature of the task? Okay, I see a few B's, a couple of C's as well. Once you're confident, do drop a comment in the chat. We would like to know what you're thinking. I'll repeat the question once again. While delegation of responsibilities is a vital approach for school leaders to efficiently manage a school, which of the following tasks should not be delegated due to their critical nature? Is it option A, conducting professional development workshops for teachers to align with the school goals? Is it B, developing long-term strategic plans for the school? Is it C, managing student transportation and logistics? Or is it option D, communication with parents and community to build positive relationships? Okay, I see quite a few of you marking option B. I see a couple of option C's and option D's as well. Nagrani Anthony from DPS Nashik says it has to be B because long-term strategic plans should have the right vision. Okay, thank you, Nagrani, for sharing your rationale there as well. In fact, let's kick it up a notch for the remaining questions. If you can, do type in the rationale for why you think an option is correct. Let's have a look at the correct answer in this scenario. Option A is incorrect. Option B in this case is the correct answer, which quite a few of you had marked, so congratulations. Developing long-term strategic plans for the school should not be delegated due to its critical nature, right? Long-term strategic plans should be made only by the school leadership. All the other options are incorrect because these are tasks that can be delegated. However, long-term strategic plans should remain with the school leadership. Moving on to the next question, which is on the topic of problem solving. A certain group of students at your school are involved in playing an online game. They are later chased by the game administrators for monetary gains. What should be the immediate next step you should take as a school leader to address this? Is it A, create a good reporting system that both students and parents can use to report on cyberbullying and follow through on any feedback received from the authorities and internet platforms? Is it B, collaborate with parents or guardians, counselors, and other support services to have an open communication with the affected students? Is it option C, seize the internet access in school until the problem of this type of cyberbullying is resolved? Or is it option D, contact the game developer or publisher when this kind of exploitatory behavior emanates from the gaming platform? Do take your time and think through this. Now, while this challenge isn't of an academic nature, we can anticipate these kind of challenges, coming in, and it is important to be able to problem solve and align on the best approach that we should take. Would be good if you can also share your rationale in the comments along with your options. Why you think a particular option is is the correct answer in this scenario? Okay, I see quite a few of you have marked option B. Okay, this seems to be a question where all of you seem to be aligned. I only see B's coming in the comment section. Okay, let's have a look at the response. So while option A is a good way to counter negate the exploitatory behavior at a systemic level, it does not directly contribute to the students' recovery. So there are students who have been affected by it. Option A does not cater to that. As all of you are marking the correct answer in the options in the comments, you can see option B is indeed the correct answer. Students who fall prey to cyberbullying from gaming platforms are tormented mentally and emotionally. And the school management can collaborate with the parents or guardians of these victimized students. Trained and experienced counselors can offer support services to help the children recover and reintegrate into the normal school system. Option C is incorrect because it cannot ensure the cyber safety beyond school, right? Recovery from emotional distress is also not being taken care of. And this step will actually hamper the usage of the internet for educative purposes. So blocking access to internet is definitely not the right answer in this scenario. Now, option D, while it might help in curbing harmful game platform administrators, it will not directly help the students get out of the negative situation and the negative situation that they find themselves in. They will need counseling, which is why option B is the correct answer, right? And it seems to tap into all the different steps you need to take in order to be able to resolve this kind of a challenge. This is, in fact, one of the practical challenges that we have come across. There were a couple of games that did indulge in this kind of exploitatory behavior. There was the cinnamon game. There was the blue whale I had heard about in the past. So this is, in fact, a practical situation that school leaders and teachers will come across. Moving on to the next question, which is on the topic of work planning. Which of the following is the best example of a change that increases administrative efficiency without compromising on its effectiveness? Is it A, observing different teachers' classes twice a week, moving from that to delegating observation tasks to the senior teachers? Is it moving from creating a new attendance report format each month to creating an attendance template that can be used each month? Is it option C, moving from holding parent-teacher meetings once a month to sending circulars with information to the children's homes through the child once a month? Or is it option D, moving from having a 20-minute assembly each morning with a prayer, song or a speech, having some announcements and a national anthem, moving from that to having a quick 10-minute assembly each morning with a prayer and a national anthem? Which of the following is the best example of a change that increases administrative efficiency without compromising on its effectiveness? I see a few of you marking option A and a few of you marking option B as well. Do drop in your rationale as well if you can in the comment why you think your response is correct. I see a couple of you responding with option C as well. I'll repeat the question once again. Which of the following is the best example of a change that increases administrative efficiency without compromising on its effectiveness? Is it moving from A, observing different teachers' classes twice a week, to now delegating of these observation tasks to the other senior teachers? Is it option B, creating a new attendance report format each month instead of creating an attendance template, moving from that to creating an attendance template that can be used each month? Is it moving away from holding parent-teacher meetings once a month to sending circulars with information to the children's home through the child once a month? Or is it moving away from having a 20-minute assembly each morning with a prayer, song and a speech, announcements and national anthem, to a very short and crisp 10-minute assembly each morning with a prayer and national anthem? All of these do seem to be, taking things off of your plate as a school leader. It seems to be taking a few things off of the teacher's plate as well. But very crucial, which of these is the best example of a change that increases administrative efficiency without compromising on its effectiveness? If you marked option B, you are indeed correct. Moving away from creating a new attendance report format each month to creating an attendance template that can be used time and time again each month would be a very effective way of increasing the administrative efficiency without compromising on effectiveness. A few of you had marked option A. At first glance, this does seem to be correct. But since the school leader plays a very key role as an instructional leader in the school, it is important, it is very, very important for you to be able to hold on to those responsibilities. It's it's important for you to, on a timely basis, conduct these classroom observations, give feedback to the teachers, interact with the students. All of this is a very, very crucial part, which definitely there are senior teachers, experienced teachers in the school that can help you out with that can support with that. We would not recommend delegating this responsibility to the other senior teachers. While from time to time you can take their support, it is very, very important that as a key player, as a key instructional leader in this school, it's important that you continue this task and keep having it on your plate. Option D is again incorrect, as it has no relationship with administrative efficiency, and it also dilutes the quality of the morning assembly. Similarly, option C is also incorrect, since parents and teachers need to interact from time to time, and this kind of conversations are critical to the child's overall growth and development. So with that, we come to the end of the sample questions. Hope you gained a lot of insight into the kind of questions that you can expect in the prelims and the finals of the CENTA International TPO School Leadership track. Now, how can you prepare for the CENTA International TPO? Worry not, we'll guide you on that front. Do download the app now. The link you can find in the chat box. So do click on the link. You can see here the CENTA team posting the link for you. And here is where you can find a lot of resources that will help you towards your preparation for the CENTA International Teaching Professionals Olympiad. Here you can find the CENTA TPO resources group. You will find a lot of sample questions that will help you with your preparation. You will also find sample questions with explanation videos. You will find recorded webinars and free learning resources. And you will also find the list of the live webinars that we have been conducting as a part of the TPO special series here as well. Aside from that, there are many, many more additional resources for you to explore. So do check out the MyCENTA app. The link to join the MyCENTA app you can find in the comment section. The CENTA team is leaving the link there for you, right? To access the sample questions, once you are on the MyCENTA app, if you can see the left-hand side of the screen on the bottom, you can see the yellow circle. You can see the group community, which is right beside the home button. Once you click on community, it will take you to the next page where you can see on the top, explore, following, and my groups. Click on my groups, and then at the bottom of the screen, center of the screen, you can see the icon which has the plus on it right above the careers button, right? You click on that blue circular dot, and that will take you to the explore groups section where you can find the preparation for the CENTA International TPO. Here is where you can find all the resources that you will need towards your preparation. To access the sample questions, click on the different links. Here you can see an overview of what the preparation resource looks like. So you can see a lot of different links. I see here the primary mix, chemistry, physics, a lot of the different subject tracks. You can click on these to access the sample questions as well as the other learning resources towards your preparation. There is another way to access the sample questions, which is via the website. Log on to centa.org, where on the top left-hand corner, you can see the yellow circle, which says view all resources. Here is where you can find the resources. So when you click on view all resources, it will take you to the next page, which you can see on the bottom right-hand corner. Here you can filter. On the left-hand side, you can see the different options for you to filter by, and you can choose self-paced courses. So check the box which says self-paced courses, and that will take you to all the different self-paced courses that are available on the website. Here you can also see the free CENTA International TPO 2024 preparation series, where you will find a lot of the different resources that will help you towards your preparation. Once again, log on to centa.org, click on view all resources, filter with checking the box on self-paced courses, and there is where you can find a lot of the free different resources which are available, including the free CENTA International TPO 2024 preparation series. If you would like to know how to register for the CENTA International TPO, you can simply log on to https:/TPO_2024. Please make a note of this link. The same link is also being dropped by the CENTA team in the comment section, so you can click on the link from there as well. Step 2 is easy. You click on register now and fill the registration form and submit the registration fees, and that will have you registering for the CENTA International TPO. This will take you to the main registration page. There are separate links for countries like Bangladesh, Egypt, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, and Philippines. The fee for each test track is 850 rupees, 850 Indian rupees plus GST, and it is $14 for international locations. And with that, we come to the Q&A section of the series. Happy to take questions that you might have either in the session or any other general questions that you might have regarding the CENTA International Teaching Professionals Olympiad. Please feel free to drop these questions in the chat box and we'll have a look. Nanu has asked for the feedback link. Yes, Nanu, we'll be sharing the feedback link with you very shortly. Chitra is asking, where can I find the sample questions for other subject tracks? So Chitra, as I've shared, I'll just quickly share once again. You can access the sample questions across all the different subject tracks by going to the My CENTA app, right? You can click on community, go to my groups, click on the blue circle at the bottom. You can see in the center of the screen, there's one blue icon there with the image of a person and a plus icon. So you can click on that and that will take you to the Explore Groups page. Here is where you can see the preparation for the CENTA International TPO. This is what the sample questions page looks like. So you'll see all the different links. You can see here the primary, mixed, English medium, chemistry, physics, biology, and you will find all the subject track preparation sample questions. You can find them here. Aside from that, you can also access these sample questions across the different subject tracks via the website. Visit centa.org, click on View All Resources, filter for self-paced courses, click on the checkbox self-paced courses, and that is where you can find the free CENTA International TPO 2024 preparation series. Vignesh has asked, a mechanical engineer myself with B.Ed in math. I want to take math subject coordinator role. Whether school leadership program helps me? Absolutely, Vignesh. So the school leadership program is for everyone who wants to take up leadership roles. Shiksha, would you like to add a little bit more to that?
Yes. Yes, Vignesh. Through the school leadership program, we also provide career growth support to the participants, and therefore will be able to support you with finding a role that would be suitable for you. So definitely go to the CENTA website and have a look at the school leadership program if you would like to.
Thanks, Shiksha. A few of you are asking for the feedback link. Yes, we'll be sharing the feedback link with you very shortly. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of the Q&A section, and there's more. So for all of those of you who have joined us, we have an exclusive opportunity. We have spot registration available. Immediately go to the centa.org/TPO_2024 link and register now. Fill in the TPO registration form, submit, and pay, because we have an exclusive offer for you. By entering the promo code SLT30, which is SLT capital SLT30, you will get a flash discount of 30% on the subject track. Right? So the fee per test track will be only INR 595 plus GST and $8.5 internationally. This is an exclusive opportunity only for all of you who have joined, and it is only valid for 24 hours starting now. So do hurry and make the best use of this exclusive spot registration opportunity that is here. The feedback form is now in the comment section for those of you who are asking. The feedback form you can see along with the webinar code of 4212. Now this feedback code is for the feedback form. The promo code is different. So if you're registering for the CENTA International TPO, the promo code is capital S, capital L, capital T 3030. So that is SLT30. This is for you to get a flash discount of 30% and is only valid for 24 hours. Okay, Abdul Waki has asked, is there a certificate for the school leadership program? Shiksha?
Yes, Abdul Wakil, we do provide a certificate for the school leadership program. However, it is dependent on the assessments that you take and your performance in the assessments. And the TQ is also a part of the assessments. But yes, there is a provision for certification in the school leadership program.
The feedback form for the session is available in the chat box. And so is the link to register for the CENTA International TPO. Do make use of this spot registration opportunity and register now. One of you have asked, where do you put or fill in the promo code? So the promo code is for the feedback form. Okay, sorry, my bad. The 4212, which is for the feedback form, that's a different code that is for the feedback form. The promo code is only applicable to the website. So there are other avenues for you to register, but please do register via the website. That's a good question. Please do register via the website. That is where you will have an option of adding the promo code. Okay, so register for the CENTA International TPO using the website link centa.org, and that is where, while registering, you will have access to the promo code, and there when you put in SLT30, you will get a flash 30% discount. So please do register only via the website. So with that, we come to the end of the international webinar series on the CENTA International TPO. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It was a pleasure hosting along with Shiksha for this session.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.